I would like to give you a brief of why and how I came here for this presentation. I'm actually an alumnus of a Queen Elizabeth Scholarship Grant from Carleton University in Canada, a grant I won just as I was concluding my PhD at Babcock University. And so I was at Canada for about 2 months last year as part of my research program. I worked there at Carleton University and with an organization, the New Life Project. So when I came back, as part of the commitment, we're expected to carry out some programs, enlightenment programs to enlighten the public and our local community on some of the outcomes of our research. And so we had to go into town to get sponsorship. And fortunately, May & Baker was one of the companies that sponsored this project. The project is still on for the next 6 months. I still have 1 or 2 coming up in the year. So last year, I carried out about 5 projects, APBN in Lagos State, speaking to schools, Babcock University, different sessions with professors, students. And in December, I and my team came for a courtesy visit to the MD to say, oh, thank you, a preliminary report. We got support. And as a result of your support, we were able to get about 1,000 pens that we were distributing as souvenirs in the course of the training sessions and bookmarks to inspire the participants on the various themes of my research. And so I was presenting the outcomes of the key titles, the themes I presented on, which is corporate sustainability in Nigeria, preparing for global opportunities, and fostering mentorship in the workplace. There are other themes, like you can see, there's raising future leaders, the one for the secondary school, and then the business and individual sustainability, creating a legacy session we're planning to do this year. And he said, oh, fantastic. I brought some sample of the souvenirs, and he said, oh, why don't you come to my team and present them? Let them see what you are doing. I think my team can get and learn from some of the highlights of your experience. And that was how I came up with this. And I came up with this topic for you this morning, business sustainability, fostering mentorship in the workplace. So what I intend to do with this, you will see, is to merge some of the things I've been discussing about, which is how businesses can be sustained in Nigeria, how employees can prepare, and companies, organizations can prepare for global opportunities, and how mentorship, fostering mentorship in the workplace can actually engender business sustainability. So that's what some of the things you'll hear this morning. And so we have a picture you can see. How many of us know that May & Baker will be 80 years this year? So thank you. So the company was actually established in September 4th, 1944, and will be 80. That's a very great milestone this year. And not just that, as you know, May & Baker is the first pharmaceutical company in Nigeria. That's a very big milestone. And so while we are here, I was thinking, if the company is not doing something right, they wouldn't have even survived for 50 years, not to talk about 80 years. Now, the crux of our discussion today is, what do they need to continue to do to ensure that this company is sustained even further than this? So it might interest you to know that my thesis for my research was corporate sustainability, succession planning, women inclusion in West Africa. And so I reviewed various companies over 20 years, 30 years, went around Nigeria, West Africa, Ghana, Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire, to see what other African companies are doing, from PLC to family business, to see how they are able to maintain sustainability. And I'm proud to tell you that I can see some of the tenets here in May & Baker, and that's why we are here. And that is part of what this presentation is about this morning. So the objective of this talk this morning, like I had mentioned earlier on, is to reinforce mentorship as a way to engender business sustainability, and to show basically how fostering mentorship in the workplace can prepare the company and its employees for global opportunity. And so the main point, like I said earlier on, you see which are the key themes that I felt resonates with you, your team. corporate sustainability in Nigeria, what it is, why it matters, and how it relates to the pharma industry, the company, and you as employees and the staff. Preparing for global opportunity, what kind of opportunities are we talking about, and how to access them, and how they can benefit the company and employees. And also how fostering mentorship in the workplace, the advantages and the challenges, and how you can scale from there. And so what's the expected outcome from this little talk we're having? My expected outcome, you know, Kogene and the first gentleman had shared, but I had an expectation from this meeting. I'm hoping that at the end of this presentation will be able to increase the awareness and understanding of the concepts of corporate sustainability, global opportunities, and mentorship among employees, and to foster a culture of learning, collaboration, and innovation within the company and its employees. And so what is corporate sustainability? You know, just like I was trying to give a brief about May & Baker, how the company was established and had been sustained till now. Sustainability generally is a practice of managing the environmental, social, and economic impacts of a business in a responsible and ethical way. It means balancing everything you need today, the needs of the future, and creating values for the business and its stakeholders. The stakeholders, of course, include you, the employees. And the importance of corporate sustainability is relevant today for the pharmaceutical sector because it can help the industry to address the challenges and opportunities in the global market, such as reducing costs by minimizing waste and resource consumption, enhancing reputation and trust by meeting the expectations, innovating and growing, creating new products, markets that can address the global health challenges and opportunities. So recently, like you know, in Lagos State, I think is it styrofoam or something that just been banned. And so everybody in FMCG, food industry, they are at alert. So the importance of sustainability and anything, safety, health, is for you to be alert, not just at management level, as at employees, to look at things that you see and alert and you pay attention because it concerns your industry. And so the product that was just banned, I was driving through Allen yesterday, one of the streets, I saw a lady selling. It was like this booker, and they were still using the product. I was hurrying somewhere. I was going to say, Madam, do you know that this thing has just been banned and you can be actually arrested for using this product? So I think we should be aware as employees and as a company on the kind of things that we need to pay attention to ensure sustainability, because the whole essence of sustainability is not just that a business is profitable, but that while you are getting that your billion you're expecting for the year, you're also thinking about the future and to ensure that we all get to that future together. And so what about preparing for global opportunity? Remember that this is just a brief wrap-up and a summary of some of my interests I talked about. How do you prepare for global opportunities? I mean, for the company and then as employees in the company. So you're working here. Is your experience just going to end here? And the goal of the company, is it just here, or is actually something that projects far beyond the reach of Nigeria? We're looking at West Africa, Africa, the world as it is a global village. So whatever you do, if you have a big vision and you plan towards it, you can actually get access to resources that can scale not just the company, but even the individual employees. And so global opportunities, for me, what that did for me, the opportunity of the grant I got, made me to get that international experience. And of course, when you hear grant, you know it's free. It's an all expense paid trip to study or handle a research. And for people like you, even working in organizations, you can actually have funds and fellowship that can give you time to go to the US, Germany, to undertake a research and come back and impact, not just in the company, because whatever you do is going to come back. The ripple effect is in Nigeria and is in Africa. It enabled me, for instance, to build a network of colleagues and collaborators. I was counting when I came back last year, And I was like, oh, for that short trip, I got contacts from people of about 10 countries, and 4 in Canada, 6 in West Africa. And it will help you access funding, resources, and partnerships. So from individual level, even for organizations, partnering for projects, you can get that kind. As a department, for instance, you can partner with another, maybe a like-minded industry company in West Africa or in Canada to work on a particular project. And so they want to see what you are working on and what you are passionate about and the experience you can bring. It also increases your chances of maybe you're publishing books, research materials, and for grant application. Those are the kind of things it can help you to do. So the importance for the company would increase revenue and profitability. When you have global opportunities, we know we have a UN, WHO, there are different grants available, and which could, where funds and resources are given to organizations, it will enable them to reach customers and diversify their income sources. For instance, I was at Abwad last year, I think it was in October, for a green hydrogen energy conference. And I visited a particular lab. It was a biology, I think a biotech lab also. And I was informed by the professor that he got a grant of several millions of dollars. You will be interested in that particular lab because it's your sector, so you have to run some tests. And I saw a lot of machines. When they were telling me the amount it costs in dollars, I didn't want to think about it. It was so expensive. And imagine getting that kind of thing free. What are they currently doing with that now? They run tests, they do researches, they invite people from different industries to come and run training in I think the molecular lab, or so you can check it out, to run training. And so you can imagine having to do business from that kind of thing that you got free from a grant. So those are the kind of things that you can begin to project to look at. It will enhance competitiveness and resilience by learning from best practices and adapting to changing conditions. So the global opportunities, for instance, when you go outside and you find they have a particular standard, and let's say our Nigerian standard, maybe NAFDAC doesn't say this, and you look at this index and say, look, NAFDAC does not mandate me to do this, but I want to be able to play in the global market, so we're going to do ABC. So it makes you competitive so that when opportunities arise, you are eligible to take advantage of those opportunities. It will help you develop skills and networks interacting with different cultures and perspectives and experts. I was able to come up with some links for you where you can find some of these opportunities for individuals, for the group research, for the department, where you can go and you can see opportunities that you can take from there. So you can take that. I believe after now the slide will be shared and you get all the information. There's a particular one that relates to you. I think it's not in this particular slide. I saw a Pfizer, there was an international grant for the pharmaceutical industry. And also there are various conferences for the pharmaceutical industry that you can subscribe to, attend to, broaden your views on your sector. So that's for sources that you can get various fellowship opportunities for the sector. And so mentorship, I will just run it through. Like, you know, mentorship is leading how a lesser qualified staff or an employee will look up to a higher, more qualified one. It can be informal and formal between an experienced person and less experienced. It's also a relationship where the mentor provides guidance, support, and feedback to the mentee to help them achieve their personal and professional goals. And what is the importance? It improves performance and productivity by enhancing the skill, knowledge, and confidence of the mentees. It's also helped the organization to retain talent and loyalty by increasing the satisfaction, engagement, and commitment of the mentors and the mentees. It fosters a culture of learning, collaboration, and innovation by sharing experiences, insights, and ideas around mentors. So I'll just tell you briefly. So part of my research, like I told you, I interviewed MD CEOs of about 30 companies in West Africa. And there was one particular interview that struck me. I think it was from one of the leaders in Ghana from EY. It's an accounting firm. And he said something. He said in their organization, they have this mentorship program. So when what they call them, I think management trainee, when they come in from they just leave school and they train them, they match them immediately. And so throughout, as they are growing through the ranks in the company, they have a mentor speaking to them, planning their chats with them. A lady just joins an organization, she's disoriented because in the next 2 years or 6 months, she got married, she's pregnant, and she doesn't know how to go about it. But she has a mentor, she has been matched. And the mentor can see ahead and begin to advise her, for instance, that look, you still want to work. I remember the goals we set. For you to make this milestone, you need this help, you need that, and that. And so even the mentors can give the feedback to the management to begin to put certain things in place to ensure that the staff is okay. So that's just a brief about mentorship. It's good if you do it here, and it will actually make everybody to be happy. You understand yourself better, and then you can plan. You can look at things you can use to plan for the future. And so what would be my recommendation for May and Baker going forward, if it's not being done, for management to inaugurate mentors in each department, to match mentors with suitable employees, to organize periodic training courses on mentorship and career training, for management to include mentorship assessment during annual staff appraisal, to see how many top leaders and staff at the junior level actually key into this sector, because this mentorship, because like I said, one of the importance is that it will retain talent, because the people working will be happy, they'll be satisfied, they know they have a plan, they know they have support from the leaders to lead them forward. And what is the action plan and my recommendation for employees? The team now should begin to identify a mentor by profiling senior management staff. So if a head would match you, you probably have someone you could even go and say, look, I would like this to be my mentor because of this reason, and I believe it can be worked out. So also personally, after this training, commit to building a strong mentorship relationship with mentors. I have mentees that people have introduced to me, and after the introduction for 6 months, 1 year, I don't hear anything from them. A mentor is not for you to now start asking and tasking, opportunity to beg items, those kind of things. No, it's actually someone you want to gain experience for, and it's reciprocal. You, as a mentee, you have the role you will play. Just like the mentor has his role, you have the role, and I believe that the person that needs more should be able to reach out more and arrange himself in a way that you're to get something from your mentor. So alone we can do so little. That's a quote by Helen Keller. Together we can do so much, and that's what this is about. Thank you so much for your attention. I would like to hear from you one or two quick thoughts. And for those interested in global opportunities, I have a mentorship cohort that I started up last year, where I talked about global opportunities for companies, departments, industry-wide, the kind of projects you can do. I actually have a group where I have international scholars and network where they share opportunities per time for where you can go, trainings, and guess what? It's totally free of charge. So if you are interested, you can feel free. My contact is there. The slide will be shared, and you can be added to the group if you are serious. So can we have a few comments, any question you want to share your experience? Thank you so much for your attention.
Questions, comments?
Okay, good morning, everyone. Good morning, ma. So my question now is, what is the call to action? In the sense that I'm sure there are some reps here who might be maybe aspiring to become a manager one day, sales manager, marketing manager, product manager, delve into marketing, or want to remain in sales. So how do we identify, those among us who are going to be mentor these people? And also, really, what's the call to action? Like, if we are going to practicalize mentorship in our own, environment, how do we actually, get it done? And what's the task for us to get it done? Okay,
so the call to action, like you can see, I've split it in two. I have the recommendation that I suggested to the management, the senior staff, and the leaders to actually inaugurate mentors in each department and to match mentors to suitable employees. And you can see for the next, I said action plan for the team is to identify a mentor by profiling. So something funny happened, was it last week? One of the juniors in my team, and we were discussing, and I said, oh, the MD of May and Baker. And he said, ma, but he's a pharmacist. How come he's an MD? So I laughed. So I don't know if you understand that question. You can see the gap that a young graduate doesn't understand how the MD of May and Baker, pharmacist Patrick Aja, is a pharmacist, is a managing director. So I paused what we were discussing. I said, okay, let me tell you something. No matter the profession you are, you can be anything you want to be. If you map out your career goals, at some point, if as an engineer, you are a science student, but if you are aiming to become an MD tomorrow, you know at some point you'll be thinking of an MBA, you'll be doing a lot of sales courses and training, because you are not going to be doing calculation when you are an MD or a manager of a particular department. You'll be talking about figures. The first expectation we had this morning was someone saying he wanted to see how the turnover of the company will skyrocket in billions. So that is just an example. The first action plan for everyone here is to say, who do I want to be? What kind of an employee do I want to be within the system? And then, are there anyone among the team, the seniors, the directors, the top managers, that I see that this person is in the chapter 15 of his life? I am in my chapter 3 of my life. Maybe I just started working, I have 3, 4, 5 years experience, and I'm trying to project to someone that has 10, 15 years experience, or even 8 years. You may want to go and check the person's profile. What has the person been doing? Has the person gone through certain training? Are there certain certifications the person had to undertake or undergo at some point or the other? So that's just to give you an idea of how you can match. So even before management will begin to say they want to match you, you can already have your ideal profile that you want to be. So assuming I want to become the president of World Bank tomorrow, I'll probably go and start matching the profile of the current World Bank president and say, oh, she's a lady. What did she do at this point? Is there a way I can do this? And then you are growing. So, and mentors, once you decide to move that relationship forward, because of the level and because of time, I didn't go deep into the issue of mentorship because it has its challenges and its benefits. One of the challenges I will tell you before time is the issue of time and communication. Remember that the mentors you want to be matched to, they are very busy. Imagine being matched to the MD that has so many meetings. So you have to struggle with the time. Over the years, I remember 7 years ago, I had driven all the way from Ikeja to Marina to go and see a mentor for 15 minutes. You can imagine that kind of thing. 15 minutes. That meeting wasn't up to 30 minutes. And I was there, I was warned. If you come a minute late or 30, you won't have the meeting. As I was there, I saw different people waiting to take their turns. So just to give you an idea of how serious you will be, because once you are merged, you remember I said the second action plan for employees is to commit to building a strong mentorship relationship with mentors. Because even if I accept to be your mentor, for instance, I won't pull you up. You must be able to pull yourself up. You must be able to reach out to me. If you say, someone sent me an email last year, I think in November, oh, I want to see you, I said, okay, talk to me around this time. Since that, they have not received a message from the person. And so you don't say, oh, because I did not call you immediately. You don't know what the person is going through at that time. So there must be a role to play. I don't know if there's any other question or if you have an idea of the call to action I explained. I mean, from the angle of the employee. The angle of the management, of course, the presentation is there, it's out there. If there are current mentorship programs in the system, yes, you can strengthen it. If there are none, after now, we can inaugurate something, board, and select people with suitable profiles and leaders. And you will see some bookmarks are going around. if you've been handed over the bookmarks, you will see one of the bookmarks inspiration is, I lead by example. I'm a mentoring leader. So what does that say? At every level you are, you can be a mentor. You could also be a mentor even for your teammates. So you can choose. When we went to do our PhD, among our set, we had mentors within our sets, where I think 9 or 12. We had look, if you select 12 people that were employed the same day, give yourself in a room 15, 30 minutes. After a while, you will know the ones that are strong. Am I right? You will know the people that are better than you. You know your weak points. You know your strengths. So while we're talking about matching mentor with mentees, you are looking at profiling, you may also look within your level to lead you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Sophia. Very good, very good. Thank you so much.